Jeremy?
Thank you so much.
All right, thank you so much.
Okay.
Jeremy
Good.
is going to now do his swan song. Thank you very much, everybody. We're closing the American Justice Summit now, and of course, President Travis has things to say. Thank you so much. Eric, you can slip away.
Okay.
Thank you, Eric. So a few short thank yous and short personal reflections. Thank you, first of all, to my partner in this effort, the brilliant, passionate, unstoppable Tina Brown. Thank you, Tina. We are all in your debt for giving urgency and energy to this conversation. And here at John Jay, I just have to thank staff of mine who have worked on this, Bettina Munster, Dan Stageman, Lisa Galloway-Perry, the theater staff, the facilities staff, faculty and students. We feel energized by the summit being here in our home. But the deepest thanks are really to you and to those of you who are not here but are here in spirit. We include, of course, the brave pioneers who shared their stories on this stage. We include the families who lost loved ones and have been victims of crime who have now lent their voices to the cause of justice. We thank the police officers, the lawyers, the corrections officials, the judges, and other public servants who do the really, truly hard work of protecting us, sometimes at personal peril, and providing for justice. And finally, as an educator, I have to thank the young people. We do think long-term here, and here across the country, there are many who have embraced this cause and know that their country, they know in their gut that their country can do better, in fact, much better. So they all inspire us and give us reasons for optimism. So I just want to say in reflection that we chose the title of this as the American Justice Summit for a reason. We wanted to use this opportunity to reflect on this experiment in democracy. We have to answer some pretty profound questions about the future of our country. Can we ensure domestic tranquility? How do we hold people accountable? How do we limit and guide the power of the state? How do we help those who enforce the law fairly and without doing damage? When we must detain somebody, hold them in a prison for appropriate reasons, what do we expect to happen there? What do we expect to happen when they return home? These are profound questions in our democracy, made difficult by our history of how we have, as a country, dealt with issues of slavery and the treatment of those of African descent, how we as a country have dealt with the indigenous peoples who preceded Europeans coming here, how we as a country have dealt with immigrants who have come to our shores to seek economic well-being, security, and found themselves, in fact, excluded and shunned. So the last 50 years we have, many of us would say, gone off course from the promise of our democracy in ways that we now know, and is sort of part of our catechism, that we have become much more punitive. Many more people in prison, probation and parole, children. This we all know. But this is a time as we leave the summit to think about the future of our democracy. As we look at this through the lens of history, the lens of race, the lens of poverty, the lens of justice, we're really asking, what is justice in America? What is the American Justice Summit? What is it we want to see happen for racial justice, economic justice, justice for victims, justice for women, justice for those who are at the bottom of the economic ladder? And can our justice system be an instrument of justice rather than an instrument of injustice? These are deep questions. So as we leave here, we were just given almost a spiritual sort of benediction by the panel right before this one with the Attorney General to think really about deep questions about us, about our conscience, about what's right, about what's ethical, and about our country. But I think the overarching emotion today is one of optimism. That's what's come across the stage to me. And it's an optimism that comes from the bipartisan consensus that Tina mentioned at the outset, that many people reference. It's the optimism that comes from these stories. It's the optimism, the sense that we're at a tipping point, that something different is happening in our country. So it's time for us to reclaim the cause of justice in America. So now is the moment. Now is the time. Now is our time. The momentum for reform has never been stronger. We have not seen it in our lifetime when there's so much possible. But what that means is that we have work to do. We have a lot of work to do. So as you leave here, I hope you'll join everybody who's committed to this cause, to me, my colleagues, to Tina and her colleagues, and reaffirm your commitment to doing the hard work on behalf of our country. Thanks so much.
Jeremy is an inspired leader. I hope you can hear. Is this gone off now, or is this okay? Yes, well, Jeremy, thank you for your inspired leadership of John Jay. You have done so much personal work and so much incredible intellectual contribution to the issues that we've been talking about today. It's wonderful to partner with you. And there are so many generous, talented people and organizations that came together to make this summit what it was. First of all, I do want to thank the incredible people who told their stories on our stage. I mean, the moving stories of relatives and mothers and sisters, siblings, and people who have had incredible losses, and they brought their brave energy to the stage to try to make sure these tragedies don't happen to anybody else was quite remarkable. And back there in the green room, I saw so many wonderful moments as they connected with one another. It was quite extraordinary back there. First of all, of course, thank you for the visionary support of the Ford Foundation, who've played such a role today, and Darren Walker, of course, did his wonderful interview with Usher, for supporting sponsor Thomson Reuters, a knowledge partner, Just Leadership USA, and media partners, the Marshall Project, who are doing such incredible pioneer work in this space, Vice News, who live-streamed us today, and WNYC, whose coverage of the justice system has been justifiably recognized with so many plaudits. And of course, I want to acknowledge the American Justice team on my side that has given their all to make the summit what it is today. First of all, our exceptionally talented executive producer, Anna Hall, who brought so much creativity and dedication to this project, and our distinguished director, Gregory Moshe, who is such an enormous pleasure to work with. The American Justice Summit is the work of passionate journalists, producers, coordinators, and I'm so pleased and proud to call them my colleagues and collaborators, as I am to the tireless team at John Jay who joined forces with us. Let's please give them all another round of applause. As Brian Stevenson has memorably said, hopelessness is the enemy of justice. So now all of you, I hope, who leave this theater today, as Jeremy has said, let's keep hope alive through the tenacity of our actions and the intelligence of our approach as we strive to make good on the great American ideal of justice for all. Thank you so much.